Let's see if I remember how to do this, because the Avs didn't remember how to win hockey games. Avs lose to the Philadelphia Flyers 6-3. Now, on the one hand, these games are expected losses. Coming off of a long-term break is a losing proposition for any hockey team, and certainly the Colorado Avalanche. So it's not wholly unexpected, but it's still not great because of earlier losses in the season. The Avs can't afford to be dropping games like this if they want to keep up with the Blues. With that said, the game didn't start out with the problems I expected. The rust did come, but in the first period, it was very much absent. The Avs looked ready to go and honestly dominated the majority of the first. At one point, shots were 9-2 in the Avs' favor. In complete control of the game, Philly was rarely even possessing the puck. But the Avs weren't putting the puck in the net against a third-string goaltender in Lyon. And then they would get unlucky, and then they would trail for the rest of the game. Avs lose a faceoff in the defensive zone. It appears to go off of McKinnon's skate, and then it's able to be collected by Voracek. Voracek walks down the wall and actually looks for a pass through the middle. It doesn't connect. It goes to the far boards and rims back up and out to Matt Niskanen at the point, who's just going to throw a puck, I guess you can call it, towards the net, but honestly, this thing is going to miss 5 feet wide if it gets all the way through on its normal shot path. May even have been a slap pass, but unfortunately, Sam Girard is standing in the way of this shot. It bounces off of him and right out into the net. There are some own goals that are easy to see an obvious mistake and something that can be corrected to keep the puck from going in. When the opposing team is shooting the puck well wide, that's really hard to play for. In fact, Girard, I don't think, was even looking at the shot coming in. It just hit off of him, a freak thing. Now, had the Avs kept playing like they did up to that point through the first period, a little bit of bad luck wouldn't have been a problem. They could have overcome it. But the rust showed up through the rest of the game. It starts with Nathan MacKinnon taking a 4-minute high stick about 200 feet from his own net in the offensive zone. Just when it looks like the Avs are going to get out of the first period without giving one up on it, they do, with less than 5 seconds to go. The Flyers come through the neutral zone on the power play here and eventually break in on the far side with a pass. And from there, you're going to see the Avs get collapsed real tight. 3 Avs players all out up high in the zone on the far side, not covering much ground at all, and yet they're not able to get the puck cleanly away. A failed clear allows the Flyers to keep the puck in the zone, and now the Avs have to scramble back to positions as they try to spread back out and cover all that ice that they weren't initially. As this happens, Nieto just gets caught in no man's land, allowing a pass to come through to the near side, and continues to float through no man's land as he steps up, I guess trying to read a pass back to the point, but this leaves Zadorov in an awfully tough situation. A man walking in on him and a man down low on his side of the ice. Cole can't really lead his side either because, again, the forwards caught out high as they quickly tried to spread out. If he leaves, backdoor is going to be wide open. Just a really hard spot to be in. The pass eventually comes down low here. You're going to see Grubauer go for the poke check. He clean misses, and the redirect goes right through him. Sloppy all the way around there. Both the defense and the goaltending. And Grubauer was a weird one. He made some fantastic saves. I mean, really fantastic saves in this one. But when the Avs needed one to get out of the first, he couldn't come up with one. For now, that's not something I'm going to be overly worried with on a first game back from a 10-day break. But if that continues, it's becoming a consistent issue. For most of the period, the Avs were the better team, but they trail by 2. The second period, the Avs do manage to start strong. They know they have to respond, and they're able to get on the board quickly. This is not a fancy play, but it doesn't have to be. The Avs are able to gain the zone as Kadri is going to come down the far side. They're going to get it in deep. Burakovsky's able to collect it in behind the net. It even gets a little bit sloppy. This puck probably should have been going the other way, but the Flyers aren't perfect either. They make mistakes too. Sometimes they're not able to control the puck. It comes loose back to Burakovsky, who quickly gets it to safety, throwing it up high to Zadorov. Zadorov just throws this one on net. A little bit of luck coming back the other way. It definitely seems to hit something in front. Officially, it's been credited to Zadorov, so I guess it hits a Flyer, but either way, it's a goal. Both teams get a goal that deflects in off of themselves. The Avs are back within that magical 1-goal margin, and you have a game. At least for 1 minute, because the Avs immediately lapse, immediately make a defensive mistake, and it's back to a 2-goal lead. There really isn't much to this play. Initially, it looks like it could be a 3-on-2 for the Flyers, but the Avs forwards do a good job of tracking back and preventing that. So it's really a 2-on-2 all the way down the ice. The problem is, Makar just gets beat clean here. He tries to even hold him up, takes a penalty. The refs were going to call an interference penalty here. Farabee just skates by him cleanly. Gets all the way by him. Full credit to Couturier here. He makes a great pass. Graves gets caught going for the block shot. This happens to him pretty consistently. I've talked about it enough. Hard to blame him on this one because Makar just leaves the back door open and it gets finished. This was not a good game for Makar in any way, shape, or form. It just was not a good one, and it's really tough. The Graves-Makar pairing cannot afford for Cale Makar to have a tough game. On most nights, that's not an issue because Makar is an absurd talent, but even he's going to have off nights, and I think that's why they need to break up the Graves-Makar pairing. So the Avs immediately give away their goal, and then Philly takes a penalty. The Avs go to a power play, and it was just goal time at the start of the second period, I guess, because the Avs answer right back. The Avs initially set up Makar for a shot here. It ends up squibbling off towards the corner, but some good hustle from the Avs and maybe the Flyers a little bit overcommitting to the puck side allows them to recover this puck and keep the play alive. And I love this play because Nazem Kadri comes out of that middle spot and is able to create here. As McKinnon collects the puck, he just chips it in deep down to Gabe Landeskog, who then chips it up to Kadri. Kadri doesn't have a great angle on the net here, but as he collects the puck, look, all 4 Flyers drag to this side. Look at all of that open ice. All Kadri has to do is get this out to open space, and the Avs are getting a grade A chance. And Kadri is absolutely a talented enough player to do it. He does it in style, going through the legs, and it's not just a throw to an area. It's a fantastic pass right to Mikko Rantanen, and he makes sure to finish this one vintage. This power play is so talented. It really does feel like it should look like that all the time. They can make it look easy. It's frustrating that it's not always like that. So the Avs get it back to within 1, and then the goals just completely dry up. There's a lot of back and forth penalties going through the middle section of the second, but neither team is able to capitalize on that. The Avs get a bunch of grade A chances, but for whatever reason, they're just not able to solve. Alex Lyon, McKinnon even manages to hit a post for post number 58 on the season. You could argue he hit 2 there. I don't think he did, just counting 1. The problem that started to crop up for the Avs, the clear rust in the game, was in the defensive zone. The Avs defensemen were flipping pucks towards the blue line and just ugly. Right to Flyers players, just turning pucks over left and right. Through the second period, they got away with it though, thanks in part to some great saves by Philip Grubauer. Then comes the third period, and the start of the third period was fine. The Avs were the team down, they were the team trying to push, but they're not able to get the big goal. And then, that's where the rust really comes to bite them. Ryan Graves going back to collect a puck. Right here, he has an extremely safe option of just flipping it back to his own D partner in Makar. Instead, he tries to whack it hard up the boards. I don't really know what his thinking is here. At best, you're probably getting an icing out of this. He doesn't even get that. It's immediately blocked goes nowhere. This initiates a puck battle, and you know what? Credit Graves here. He works extremely hard to work and get this puck back. By the time he's able to control it, though, there are Flyers surrounding him. It's going to be messy. He attempts another clear up the boards, chips it, this time with much less mustard, never really had a chance to get out of the zone. That's turnover number 2 in just a couple of seconds. Somehow, even though the Flyers controlled it, it comes back down the boards to Ryan Graves, and he gets a third attempt at this puck. Now, I'll give him credit. He did learn that he's not going to be able to clear this puck by going up the boards, so he tries something different. But the thing he tries is basically the most dangerous play a defenseman can make, and he just fires this puck right into his own slot. Now, Makar was there, but this is still an incredibly risky play, especially with a Flyer in behind the play. Exactly what happens. Couturier steps up, says, wow, what a gift, is able to knock down the puck and control it in the slot, is given just enough room as Makar was trying to fly the zone a touch there, and Couturier is able to find Joel Farabee sneaking back in on the other side, and Farabee just puts it away. Look, Ryan Graves has been outstanding for most of the year. He's absolutely earned his spot on the NHL roster, but that was a bad play at an AHL caliber level. That was just awful hockey. It's going to happen occasionally. Call it a rust game, sure, but if that happens again, that's not acceptable. And this is the problem. The Avs just could never close the gap in this game. Once the gap got to 2 and Philadelphia sat back, that's where they took advantage, and it happens again. About a minute and a half later, the Avs can close the lead back to 1, but they just can't get over the hump. McKinnon's gonna get a penalty on him here that the refs actually were going to call. So a delayed penalty situation. McKinnon fires this through the middle. Honestly thought the Flyers might have got a piece of this, but in the end of the day, they didn't call it. Makar's able to collect it and send it over to Zadorov, who I guess is just feeling hot because he finds himself in space and says, you know what, I just am going to fire this puck. It gets all the way through, comes out for a rebound. The Avs have 2 players in tight. Credit there. Nice job being in the correct positions for this play. Burakovsky finds a little gift, is able to drag it to some open space and finish the job. There's plenty of good things to talk about for the Avs in this game, but they don't get the W. They had their chances, lucky, unlucky, whatever you want to call it. Some more rust nearly shot them in the foot as they took a too many men penalty a bit later on in the third, but they managed to survive it and then even flip it and get a power play of their own. In the first power play, resulted in a goal. They had a second power play. I didn't really talk about it, but it looked extremely effective, did everything but score. And then this third power play was just a total reversion to disaster. So it's not been a great power play to this point, but the Avs win an offensive zone faceoff, and they're able to get set up here. Perfect. This is the idea, right? Makar tries to hit a pass to Rantanen. He totally telegraphs it and does not make a good one. That causes a turnover. Just sloppy. 100% sloppy. It leads to a 2-on-1. Makar does a good job to take away the pass here, but in walks Kevin Hayes. He just fires, and it goes right through Grube. Probably the worst game of Makar's career so far, to be honest. That was the goal that broke the camel's back, no doubt about it. Philly would add an empty netter, but it was already over. It's a rust game, and when the Avs didn't look rusty, they were getting unlucky. It's a bit of a tough card. Don't think Grubauer played a good game, but I also don't put this game on him. That 5th goal, honestly, yeah, it ended the game, but the Avs were already trailing at that point. They needed another goal. Second goal, the one he gave up on the power play, that one's more concerning to me, but ultimately the defense just laid a total egg in front of him for a lot of the night. As always, it's just one game, but this now means that they need to perform for the rest of the road trip to call it a successful one. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching, and head on over to thednvr.com. You know the drill. If you like our content, consider supporting us by signing up for a membership. I am Rudo, and NHL, if you're going to give your players 10 days off in the middle of the season, you might as well let them go to the Olympics.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the dog and Gabe the big. The fun isn't over yet.